dirty, dirty.
Play this record as frequently as possible.
Oh, dirty,
Yeah.
dirty. Dirty. Me and my niggas get dirty. When any of these niggas wanna get delirious like Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Hercules.
Ain't showing that kitty no mercy. Fuck the 3X's, no one neglected. Brother the turkey. Yeah, brother the turkey,
Welcome back, Raw Nation, to another installment of Raw View, where we get a better insight of each king and queens behind the scene. I'm your host, Cheno Royale, baby. I'm here with, what's your name, ma'am?
I'm OG Killa Kels, or Kels.
Miss Killa Kels.
Or OG.
OG? Okay, OG, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good, how are you?
I'm good.
Hey.
Anything new today?
No. Nothing really.
Nothing really?
I've just been working.
Same old?
Yeah, I got a full-time job.
Okay.
I work from home.
Shout out.
And then I work from home with my child too, so that's
Shout out everybody with a full-time job. Let's get those full-time jobs. But go ahead for the fans at home. Elaborate on yourself. Who is OG Killa Kels?
So I do a range of things. I take pictures. I curate art shows. I'm a graphic designer. I MC. I do a whole range of things. Currently trying to do kind of like what you're doing, like a YouTube series. Not really exactly what you're doing,
Right.
but I kind of want to like highlight, some of the creators here that don't really get a lot of shine. Because I'm sure you know that
You definitely need to do that.
People, I do too. But we're gonna put a spin on it. I can't really give you all of the sauce now.
Right.
But,
There's got to be a hush moment somewhere.
Yeah. And I get so excited about stuff that I get to talking, and then just know that it's coming.
Just like earlier, I'm in the same boat. I could have kept talking and talking.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
But like, how did you get in? Do you say photography? How did you get into photography?
So I went to I graduated from St. Francis with my bachelor's in graphic design, but I had to minor. So I figured I pick up photography because they kind of go hand in hand. And I ended up liking photography more than graphic design.
Hey.
So I went to school for 3 years, and my senior year I was like, why am I still doing this? But you kind of are already at the end by then. So I kind of been putting more time. I still do designs, like I do logos and stuff like that, but I'm more focused on photography.
Since you do photography, do you do the flip side? Or are you ever the model?
Oh, child, no.
No? No?
I am good. Like, I'm good in front of a camera, like, talking.
Right.
I could be in front of crowds, but when it comes to, like, okay, pose for a flick, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, do I look okay? But I would do it if I have to.
Right.
But, no, I'm cool being behind the lens.
Okay. Have you done any, features with any local like models or any photographers even in the city?
So I work with a lot of different people. My specialty is really working with people who's never done a photo shoot before,
Right.
or they want to get into modeling but they're not sure what to do. And then I work with a lot of like different clothing lines, product shops, all that good stuff. So a person that I work with a lot is Deshaun Clark. His
Jesus.
Instagram. Yep, Jesus. Yep, that's my homie. We've been homies since middle school. So when I first started photography, he entrusted me with his pictures, and honestly, just shooting with him and like doing shoots back to back, like that's when I started getting better. So then once I got comfortable with him, I started going out with like more people. So my friend,
That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, my friend Annika, she's an aspiring model. Brittany Adams. There's so many people that I shoot, but those two ladies, and then Garen, I was just recently did his photo walk, where we just got like different photographers and different models.
I
and
saw that.
Went downtown and
I
walked.
saw that.
Yeah.
That was
so
dope.
shout out to Garen. And then Marissa Flores, she shoots Tyrell Swain. So like we've done a whole bunch of shit. I'm a big like, I want everybody to eat type person. So if I got an opportunity and I can pull people in with me, I'm like, yo, let's go. Like, so.
That's dope. Knowing myself, I like take years, like the year and like a quarter.
Mhm.
Like, do you have anything planned for like your first quarter? Like anything special or like throughout the year even that you're gonna try and do?
So like I said, I curate art shows, and COVID has really like kind of hurt me a little bit in that aspect.
Right.
So my art show is called the Pop Up, where we literally just pop up anywhere. It could be a vacant building. One year I wanted to do it outside, but I haven't.
Should have did it in the GE building before they started doing all that stuff.
That's a perfect spot, like, you know, spots like that.
Right.
So my goal is to at least host something this year, whether it's an art show. I used to host open mics. Yeah, so if I could do something with that, I was actually just talking to my homie Mark Braster about potentially like doing something, because he's been working too. So we have so much work, you know, that we want to display. It's just hard because you know, the restrictions and COVID and all that good stuff.
Right.
So.
Right. I've been talking like to other artists. I obviously you've been seeing some of the interviews, and like each of the artists, like I've talked to them about it, and it's like I don't think that we're purposefully doing it. Maybe some people are, but I think like we're kind of segregating ourselves off bat. And what I mean by that, you ever seen that that meme of like a cafeteria, and it's like, and it's like, what table you sitting at? Yeah. And I feel like we're not like purposefully, like consciously doing it. I think we're doing it unconsciously, just being like, hey, you know, it's my table. Yeah. Don't come over here. Yeah. Like that type of stuff. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do with this, and try to break the barriers and try to show like what you just said with the whole walk thing. Like we can all eat and just be friends and do stuff together.
Yeah. And with that walk too, like I had great conversation with all the photographers, and I think what Garen's point was, because I get a lot of people who come to me and then they show me another photographer's work. Right. And I'm just like, okay, so why are you not going to that photographer? You know, like, so I'm not a hater. If I can't do something, I'm always throwing them to like Garen or Marissa or Tyrell, because I know their styles. I have like a really like gritty, like streetwear, like urban style. So I don't shoot weddings, because weddings is super soft and girly and, you know, all that good stuff. So, but Marissa is great at weddings. Right. Or like Garen is really good at, I do studio, but Garen does like studio where he can do like the face. He can smooth out your face. Anything you want him to do with that, I throw him to him. And then like Tyrell is really good with like dark and moody and like sports and like stuff like that. So if anybody would want me to shoot like a football game or something like that, I throw him to Tyrell. So it's just, I totally agree with you saying. I would rather everybody work together instead of, oh, why are you shooting with her? You know? Right. You kind of get over that once you've been in the game long enough. So.
Right. It's like how can you expect to make it out of a city like when we're not even that big of a city? Yes. And like there's big cities and there's people bigger than us in those cities. Man. And they're not even making it like in those cities.
No, it's all. That's funny you said that. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant for a second because.
Good. Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna talk about pricing for a second. So my price for our shoot is $100. You get 2 outfits up, and you get about 20 pictures back. There's some photographers that will charge you $300 an hour, plus you gotta pay for the studio, and you only get in like 5-10 pictures back. You know, so people would rather go there because they're popular on Instagram, or you know, so and so. Meek Mill shot with this person, so I'm gonna go drop a band on there where people here in town can really do the same thing, if even better, you know? So, like you were kind of saying, you gotta support your own here first before you can, you know, go wherever you're going.
Like you can't go out and then like try to be bigger than life, but because people are inevitably going to be like, well, where did you come from? And then they're gonna look at your background, and then they'll be like, okay, there's nobody messing with you though. Exactly. So why should I mess with you?
Exactly. Especially if you're work, you know, you gotta
your roots.
Yeah, and you gotta promote your work. Me and Lo talk about that all the time. There's no way people can support you. People talk about support here a lot. But the same people that are talking about support, I don't know none of your songs. I've never seen none of your work. I don't know what your Instagram is. I don't know what your website is, you know? So you got to be able to hustle and put the work in order for you to get those kudos, you know? So I totally agree with you.
Well, Miss OG, I appreciate you being on the show. Definitely appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy out here talking your shit and then doing all these photos.
I don't be trying to talk. I don't be trying to. I just shoot and move on.
But I only got one more question before we get all out of here. Where do you see all that going for you in like a year, 5 years? It could be tomorrow. Like, what's the ultimate end game for Miss OG?
I think my ultimate end game will be definitely own my own studio and to be able to rent out that studio, you know, because that's a problem that I have a lot is here in Fort Wayne. They talk about they want to support the artists, but they really don't have.
There's a lot of vacant spots.
Safe spaces, which is hard because a lot of times, like, you might not have the bread for it, or somebody's sitting on that spot that doesn't want to rent it out. Like, I've been everywhere,
Facts.
you know, so get a studio, you know, build up my lenses, my lights, all that good stuff. And then eventually, like, I would love to shoot for Vogue. I would love to shoot for Complex, Preem Magazine, like all those urban, like, magazines. If I get a placement in one, like,
come fuck with me. I'll be modeling and shit.
okay, hey, look. Come on, just tell me.
Come on now.
Tell me when. But yeah, that's pretty much my goal. So.
Definitely shout out where we can find you, because we need to find you.
I'm just Kelsey Martin on Facebook. Twitter and Instagram is OG Killa Kels. I'm super easy. Everything's the same. So yeah, you hit me up on Messenger. I suck at responding, but I will get to you eventually. But yeah, you can hit me up on all of those. If you ever want to just chop it up, if you need pictures, if you need something and I can't do it for you, I definitely find somebody to do it for you. So
well, like I
appreciate
said,
you having me on the show, man.
I appreciate you taking the time. You didn't believe like how many people like you would think that people would be like jumping at the opportunity, but it ain't like that. It ain't like that.
See, that's that.
But it's okay.
Thing,
It's okay. It's okay though. It's okay though. Like I said, I appreciate you being on the show. You stay on your grind.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Grinding so long on the four-way. Gotta get the go, can't wait. Planets getting cold, can't be late. Feeding off the love and the hate. Man, I can see it now. Got a crowd crazy.